we usually just talk a little bit before we go live.
Okay.
I think we're live now.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Get Shit Done show.
I am so excited to be here, Tellman. Thank you for having me.
You got it, Juliet. So, I'd like to start the Get Shit Done show out with positive focus. So, what are you happiest or most excited about in your life right now at this very moment?
That I am finally at 60 years old recording my music. I am super excited.
What kind of music?
Well, the song I'm working on right now is a song called Lamb of God. It's it was inspired by the show The Chosen, and that's what brought me back into relationship with Christ like a couple years ago, a little over 2 years ago. So that's and I'm working with different instrumentalist on this platform called Musiversal, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm loving it. It's really cool. I had a violin session this morning and cello yesterday and upright bass earlier in the week.
So what do you play?
I am not playing anything on here. I'm just doing vocals, but I do play percussion and drums and bass, but I'm not going to be doing that on any of these, just vocals. So.
Cool. My daughter's starting to get into percussion. She's been playing in the school band, big giant drum, and so yeah, she's into it. So that's cool. Well, congratulations on getting to recording some music. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's wonderful. Very cool. Well, I'm finally feeling good after like 6 days of having a cold. So I'm feeling very clear and energetic and excited and kind of like life is worth living again today. So I'm pretty pleased about that.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Being sick is not fun.
No, and this was a rough one. So remind me, where are you in the country?
Right now I'm in South Asheville.
South Asheville. I thought it was one of the Carolinas. I wasn't quite sure, but all right, cool. So you've been a fan of the Get Shit Done show. You've been on several episodes commenting and then you raised your hand saying that you were interested in getting on the show. And actually, you know what? When you raised your hand, you hadn't seen an episode yet.
No, I saw a few minutes, but I didn't even see a whole episode yet.
Yeah. So what inspired you to want to get on and do a hypnosis session here today with a Get Shit Done intervention of all things? Like what was interesting to you about that?
Well, I'll back up first. So even though I had not seen a full episode yet, I'd seen the show that you did with Harris
Tellman and Tellman show.
Yeah. I'd seen episodes of that. So
that was awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And when you were talking about the different kinds of sessions you could do, I was like, ooh, like I definitely know that some of the issues I'm struggling with are blocks in my subconscious, related to getting things done, related to money, related to all that stuff. And so, I know like I've written so many manifestation offers, the copy for them. It's like I know the power of the subconscious mind and how much hold it has over us. And like what is it, like 90% of stuff is in the subconscious? Is it that?
I just like to think about it with the 80-20 rule. 20% conscious, 80% unconscious. We're 20% aware, we're 80% unaware. But the majority of what our brain is doing most of the time we're not aware of, and we're not in. Most of us aren't in direct control of, right? And so most of what we think is kind of preordained in a way, right? It's only within a certain spectrum of deviation. We can only go so far outside the path without a little bit of assistance.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So let's talk about it. So you want to work on money mindset related things. So let's just walk through the process of doing a hypnosis session like we were just sitting here together, and then we'll do one. How does that sound?
Sounds perfect.
Awesome. So guys, if you're tuning in and watching, we're going to do a hypnosis pre-talk right now. I'm going to ask Juliet a bunch of questions about what's going on with her and what she wants to have happen instead. And then we're going to do a live hypnosis session to help her out with those things here today after the initial series of questions. So you'll get to experience what it's like to do a hypnosis session, but you'll also get to experience what it's like to think about things from a different way and discuss some different angles and different ways of looking at things, right?
Mhm.
So ultimately, Juliet, what is the outcome that you're looking for here? What is as a result of our time, our hour or so here together today, what
Yeah.
is the difference or the change in yourself that you're looking to create or achieve?
To have a better mindset about money, my cycle with money tends to be, you know, I've been doing freelancing since 2019, and so and I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. So cash flows, kind of up and down, right? So because I tend to be overly optimistic when cash flow is really good, I don't set money aside. I'm like, okay, this is it. Everything's going to be great from here on out. Like,
Right.
and so I don't save money. I don't put it away. I My boyfriend is great with money, so I'm very much looking forward to the point when we end up getting married, and he's going to handle the money. Like I can make it, but I'm not great with managing it. Like I'm just not. And so then, 'cause I've had months where I've done 50,000 and, close 50,000 in funnels. And then I've had months where I was like not even hitting 2K,
Right.
so it's just, and then when I'm in that low spot where I'm struggling with cash flow, sometimes it can seem like this deep, dark hole that, especially right now, I've got a lot of debt too, right? So it can feel like this deep, dark hole that how in the heck am I going to get out of this? So it's kind of this bouncing back and forth thing that is very unbalanced. And so I'd like to have a little bit more realism when the money's good, to not be so optimistic that I actually set some aside, and then also when I'm in the struggle place to not feel so defeated and overwhelmed by it. I think that's the main thing.
Okay. So getting in the habit of saving money
Mhm.
sounds like a big piece of what you're looking for here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And what about as an entrepreneur, freelancer, or otherwise, how important to you is it to create predictable recurring income? Is that something that you're focused on right now, or that you're not particularly interested in? What's that for you?
It's something I would love to do. I have not done a very good job of
Right.
doing, and I don't really feel like I have a good, plan for that either,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So as a direct response marketer, you said you have a copywriting background. You're really good at beating the control, conversion rate optimization. Whether you're a copywriter, designer, or you even focus on the tech stack end of things, however you are increasing conversion rates for your own stuff or for someone else's funnels. Um, I mean, part of it is, are you or aren't you taking a percentage, a piece of the pie? And are the funnels that you're working on, do you choose funnels that must have recurring revenue built into the funnel?
I
Um,
I've talked to many clients about that, but I haven't yet found a client that wanted to do that. So that I've always wanted to do profit sharing as part of the deal, but it just hasn't panned out. And I am doing 2 profit sharing deals with people right now, but they're not copywriting. One's a online magazine for coaches called the Coaches Chronicle, and then the other one is for Nutriville. I'm helping them get their TikTok shop launched and being like the face of the brand and being on camera and
cool.
doing videos and stuff for that. So
Yeah, really look for funnels with recurring revenue if you're going to get involved, right?
yeah,
If you want to stabilize your income,
yeah,
take a piece, and if they don't have recurring income, come up with the recurring revenue program, put it together, put the upsell together, put it into the funnel, and that make that part of the deal.
yeah.
Because not all skill sets, not all entrepreneurs are quite so easily poised to create that. But I mean, you could create that by focusing on those types of deals.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that's a practical thing, not necessarily a mindset or an internal thing. One of the areas where people sometimes get sidelined with money mindset is like you mentioned earlier, that you have a block, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you? And the reason I ask is I understand, believe me, one of my hypnosis sessions is called the money block session. It's
Yeah.
one of the best selling ones that I have. And blaming, when someone says I have a block,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or something happened in my childhood that made me the way I am, or my parents were this way and so I'm that way,
Yeah.
or right, or whatever, then having a block is a really easy scapegoat.
It's true.
It's a really easy scapegoat because I don't know that there are blocks,
Mm-hmm.
right? What I do know is that there are habits and you might not have the right habits.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe there are some different ways that you could improve your relationship, in this case with money, and the way that you handle it, certainly.
Yeah.
But when you say, so saving money is important, is something that you're looking at. Do you have a measurable action or an outcome that you're looking for as it relates to saving money? Meaning, do you want to start a new savings account? Do you want to get in the habit of putting 10% of everything that comes in into a savings account? Do you want to start looking at your bank accounts and tracking them first thing in the morning? You know, what are some habits that you, or a habit that you want to start doing that will allow you to save money and have a stronger handle on your financial situation?
Well, first I need to get my income back up because it's been low recently, and I've got about a little over 20K in debt I want to pay off, and then I want to start saving. So, because
Right.
that's really heavy, right? It like energetically, debt can really weigh a human down and feel like it's kind of overwhelming at times. So that I want to get that taken care of. So I'm working on a funnel right now that for me, my own project. And I'm hoping that I can get that making like 30K pretty soon, pay all that debt off, have a little bit of a cushion, and then put some of that away, just so I've got a little bit of a buffer.
So do you want to know a secret?
Yeah.
Start saving the money now.
Okay.
Even when you don't have enough. That's the key.
Okay.
That's the trick. And that's the hardest thing to do psychologically. Now, here's the thing. If you put the money into a savings account, you can always take it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's about the habit. So the idea is that the money will come to you when you can handle it. Okay. When you can take care of it, it will happily flow to you. If you can't take care of it, it's going to go to somebody who can take care of it.
That makes sense.
It's kind of money kind of works like love that way, or or romance, right? It's when you desperately want it, when you feel like you need it, it's nowhere to be found, and then suddenly when everything's good, and you're pretty happy, it comes to you easily. It's same kind of idea here. And so what I'm asking you is, what is the habit or change? So you want to start saving money, but how do you want to start saving money? What's the action that you're going to start doing that's going to improve your situation?
I guess just putting a little bit into savings, even when my money's tight, just starting to do that and just not touch it.
So let's say your debt was paid off.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, what percentage of your income initially do you want to start putting into a savings account?
Probably 10% would be good.
Great place to start. Right. Do you have a savings account right now?
Yeah, I do.
Great. So there's an account already set up for that. And normally when do you get paid through a variety of different ways right now, or do you get paid through one more predictable path?
Variety, mainly Wise. That's the main way clients pay me, but sometimes Square, if they don't use Wise. Occasionally PayPal. I can't stand PayPal though, so I try to avoid that as much as possible.
And can you set up any automation systems in either Wise or Square to automatically route 10% into your savings account?
I don't think so, but right now the money is going into my business savings account from those places. Long
Great.
story there. So that's where it goes initially.
Cool.
Yeah. And
So
I just pull stuff out when I need it.
So saving money is one piece, but when you say that you have money blocks, tell me a little bit more about that. What are the other issues or challenges that you have around money other than saving it?
I think that just like when I'm struggling financially, feeling like it's this dark hole I can't get out of, it feels overwhelming, and it's like it can get pretty bad. I remember, vulnerable moment here. I remember on 3 days before Christmas last year, I was just in this really dark place. I was out driving Uber Eats,
Yeah.
and having suicidal ideation, really bad. And just started praying really hard. And Christmas Eve, I had a client I'd worked with before reach out and take me up on a special deal I was doing. And I got a 5K deal for some copy this year that they got a great deal. I'm giving them 3 times the value of that because they paid for it last year when I really needed the money. So, it's a good deal for them. But yeah, that it just, it can just really feel overwhelming when, it's weird. It's like I get stuck, even though, I know that there have been plenty of times that people just reach out to me out of nowhere on LinkedIn or on Facebook and say, "Hey, I've looked at your portfolio, or I've got a referral from somebody and I want to work with you." That's happened a lot. Most of my work has come from referrals.
Right.
I think that's another thing that I'm struggling with too, is I've gotten kind of lazy with prospecting, and I've never really, mainly my prospecting has been in Cold to Copy job board and Nothing Held Back job board. I've never done cold outreach, ever. So I think that's a skill set that a lot of copywriters and conversion rate people are used to doing. They're used to doing a lot of cold outreach, and that just never has been part of what I've done. So I think that's a practical thing I need to work on.
Maybe you need to work on cold outreach. I have a theory, and my theory is that you've been in the game for a good long time. When did you start in direct response?
97.
Yeah. Okay. Like I feel like I've heard your name and seen you at conferences and things for for a long time.
Yeah.
And so that was well before I did, right? And so I think you have already had all the clients that you'll ever need. Quite literally, you have all the customers that you'll ever need. And the trick is reestablishing and maintaining long-term connection and relationship with them, whether or not they're giving you money. So if you make a list of every client and or customer you've ever had, every strategic partner you've ever had, whatever the different situations are, you make a list of every single one. That doesn't mean you have to call every single one, but make a list of every single one and think about, of the people on these lists, is there anyone that I would absolutely never do business with again? Okay, cross them off, right? And call everyone else back. Okay? Call every single one of them on the phone if you have their cell phone number. Nobody calls anybody on the phone anymore. Just call them on the phone. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them how their life has been. Ask them what they're working on. And then most of the time, about 80% of the time, they'll ask you what you're working on, and you'll say, oh, well, I'm helping people optimize their conversion rates on their funnels.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything you want me to look at?
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
You know, and if they just told you about their funnels and their business and the fact that, you know, this over here is bombing and that over there isn't working anymore. I mean, but just having a good conversation with a old connection on a daily basis, setting aside an hour to do this every day and just go back through, it will generate referrals. It will create repeat business. It's way better than cold prospecting because you're reconnecting with people you already know.
That's
and,
true.
you know, when you're new to the business or new to the industry and you don't know anybody, you don't have this luxury, but you do have this luxury. So I would really encourage you. And then, of course, reaching out on Facebook and or LinkedIn is also very, very easy with these types of connections, right? But one of the things that I found that was shockingly powerful for me, or especially early on in my entrepreneurial career, I started going to, or in my internet entrepreneurial career, I started going to marketing seminars. And this was in the early 2000s, right? And I think it was probably like Big Seminar or something.
Yeah.
And Harv Eker used to speak all the time. And Harv Eker got up on stage and he did his talk about millionaire mindset. And then you know, I at the time ended up spending like $1,000 on his giant CD set because I couldn't afford the whole, you know, the whole shebang or whatever. But I bought the CD set for Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and I got the book, and I read the book, and I listened to the CD set, and I implemented it, or I implemented it as much as I could of it. And the biggest thing, it was magical. It made just a huge difference for me. Now, my belief is that I think Harv learned this from someone else. I don't think he came up with this. I think this idea is much older than him because I've heard about it in other places. But I don't know exactly who originated this idea. I learned it from Harv Eker. And so it's the 7 bucket system. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. So what you do is you create 7 bank accounts. Okay. And I'm going to see if Secrets of the Millionaire Mind is the book. It's like a $20 book. You can listen to it on Prime if you need to, but I'm going from memory, and this is quite a few years ago. But necessities is your primary bank account. Okay. And so your necessities are your rent, your electricity, your food, you know, your gas, your car payment, necessities. Then you have your gift account. And this is money for gifts, presents for people for birthdays and holidays. Then you have your long-term savings account, LTS, long-term savings. Then you have your education account, your EDU account, and that is either for college or for education for your business, you know, home study courses, coaching programs, this kind of stuff that you can spend money on it in order to learn how to make more money.
Yeah.
Specifically, that type of education. There's your fun account. Okay. And this is for going out and having fun. Right. So there's, your necessities, your fun, your long-term savings, your taxes account, if appropriate, as an entrepreneur. There are a couple more. The point is that you set up all these bank accounts, and then you could say, you know, that 40% of your money goes into your necessities, and then 10% goes into each one of the other accounts. That may or may not be how the numbers break down, depending on what you need and how much you make and all this kind of stuff. It seems like an enormous problem to set up all these accounts. Some people, by the way, keep one bank account and they get 7 credit cards, and they do it this way.
Mhm.
At the time, I was unwilling to have credit cards again, so I just had 7 bank accounts with 7 debit cards, right?
Mhm.
And I labeled each one so I knew which what each one was for. And so then when you go to spend money throughout the week, you only spend money from the appropriate accounts,
That makes
right?
sense.
And if you don't have enough money, either you don't buy the thing or you consciously and purposely move money around from one account to the other, which brings your attention to your money. And so
Mhm.
what ends up happening is you're organizing these 7 accounts. Even if you're making the same amount of money, the amount of attention and intention that you're putting on your bank accounts is way higher.
Yeah.
And as a result, not only do you have more money, you have this, your fun account, you have to drain that dry every week
Wow.
or every pay period,
Mhm.
right? You have to empty it. It's meant to be blown on stupid stuff. You have to empty it completely, right? And so that reduces spontaneous stupid spending,
That
right? For
makes
example.
sense.
And so bringing your attention to your money
Mhm.
through a system like this will cause you to cultivate and care for your money more.
Mhm.
I really would encourage you to check out that book and set up the seven bucket system.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a
Good.
magic spell. It's incredibly powerful, incredibly powerful. So as you're thinking about yourself and what you're working on here, on the money mindset end of things, you want to start saving some of your money. You want to start creating more consistent, like, recurring revenue over time. Is there anything else that I should know about your relationship with money, or what it is specifically that you want to shift?
The thing that just popped up for me that actually is related to some stuff I've been thinking about recently. So I tend to avoid looking at my like bills and stuff that are due. Like I have them all listed down, and I think maybe part of that is when I was in school growing up, um, I had this weird relationship with math. So I was always the top student in math in my class.
Okay.
Teacher would put a problem on the board, I would be able to do it like that.
Yeah.
Then we would have to do homework and we would have to do 20 of that same problem over and over. And my brain doesn't deal with calculation well. I have very slow processing speed with calculation. So I was being forced to deal with the numbers over and over again with no calculator. We weren't allowed to use calculators back then.
Right.
And so I think like I got this kind of like thing, I don't know if block's the right word, but just wanting to avoid numbers.
Yeah.
So I try to like I don't like doing I'm good at accounting, I'm good at these things, but I don't like doing it. And so
I
I
don't like it either. I'm
yeah,
not and I'm not good at it. So you're at
yeah,
least you're good at it. That, I mean, personally, the only way it works for me is to bring is to basically embrace the obstacle is the way
mm,
principle. It's like, if you're avoiding doing it, that's exactly what you should be doing.
yeah,
That is the indicator. The direction for you to go is where the resistance is,
yeah, that makes
right? Um, cool if your boyfriend's great at dealing with money and managing money. It's like, on the other hand, if you don't get better at it, you could also run into some problems,
yeah,
right? And you getting better at it and improving your relationship with money, your ability to manage it and to do so and feel good about it is the key, right?
yeah, yeah,
So if you start saving money, start bringing in more consistent income,
mhm,
and are able to look at and work with your money and the numbers in a more positive and in a way that feels better, how's that going to impact your life?
I'll be way more peaceful and happy and have far less stress in my life
Why?
because I get really stressed out about money a lot. It's like I have this thing I want to avoid it, but it also stresses me out. So, um,
So
Just
if
like
money stresses you out, do you think having more money will suddenly cause you to be more stressed or less
no,
stressed?
no, it's not having money, it's the lack of money that stresses me out. Not having enough money stresses me out.
I've known many people who have a lot of money who are very stressed out.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's the lack of money that stresses you out? I mean,
Yeah.
it might look that way.
Yeah, because when I've had plenty of money,
Yeah.
I'm far less stressed. Like my
Mhm.
anxiety, I think of anxiety like this cup, right? And so when I have financial stress, my cup is pretty friggin' full, my
Yeah.
anxiety cup. And little teeny things will get me really upset that
Yeah.
normally wouldn't bother me. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a huge, huge factor with me.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Okay. So do you want your stress to be that connected to money?
No,
What do you want?
to be in a place of peace, no matter what my financial situation is.
Right. Well, it's a lot easier to bring in more money if you're in a good
Yeah,
headspace and
yeah,
heart space than if you're all desperate and freaked out, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have been
So,
shifting that some recently. I think, just like I've really been deepening my faith more.
yeah,
And, just when the money's not there, it's not like the past month, my
right,
mindset's been very different. I've been just kind of like, okay, I can't pay any of these debts right now. And these people are calling me and okay, I'm just not going to answer the phone because there's nothing I can do about it right this minute. And letting
right.
it stress me out, it's not going to help anything.
It's true.
So
It's
yeah.
true. Okay, cool. So I have a pretty good idea of what you're looking for, I think. Do you have any questions for me about anything we've talked about so far or about hypnosis? Anything at all?
Mm-mm.
All right, cool. Well, I'm ready to shift into the hypnosis portion of our session. If you are, do you need to go to the bathroom or anything like that before we shift gears?
I think I'll be all right.
Awesome, great. Well, if you can, I'm going to make sure that my phone is in silent mode. If you could do the same, make sure your
Yeah.
devices aren't going to be ringing. And I'm going to. One of the things I always have to do is close all my Google Calendar tabs because they all have alerts and alarms on them. And sometimes they start dinging in the middle of a recording. All right, great, cool. All right, are you comfortable?
Mhm.
Fantastic. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started with the hypnosis portion of our session here today. And for those of you that are watching, if you're driving, please shut this off. If you're operating heavy machinery, like, I don't know, a wrecking ball, then don't listen to hypnosis. If you're, juggling chainsaws, these types of things, it's not appropriate to listen to hypnosis. If it would put you or anyone else in harm's way, if you were to fall asleep in the next 20 minutes, then come back to this later at a more appropriate time. That's my disclaimer. You should be sitting down, hopefully at home, in a place where nobody's going to bother you, where you can relax and close your eyes and have a wonderfully relaxing hypnosis session here in the next few minutes. So with that said, all right, Juliet, if you want to go ahead and just take a nice, slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, just go ahead and close your eyes and begin to allow yourself to relax. And as you do, begin to allow yourself to relax right now, only as much as you're willing to relax right now. You can listen to the sound of my voice, and you can repeat my words in your own mind, in your own brain, as your words. And as you allow my words to become your words, you can begin to take yourself on a journey deeper and deeper into your own subconscious mind, where you can begin to relax more deeply, more completely, more thoroughly, perhaps than you've been relaxed in a very, very very long time. And you can begin by imagining a disc up at the top of your head, a golden disc of liquid light, just about the size of a coin, spinning and stretching, spinning and stretching, spinning and stretching out at the top of your head, spinning and stretching out at the top of your head like honey, golden liquid light, relaxing the scalp, relaxing each and every pore, each and every nerve, each and every cell, each and every bone, each and every muscle, each and every part of your body, of your mind, and of your being that it touches, allowing that relaxation to continue down now and down into your forehead, soothing and smoothing away the stress in the forehead, soothing away any tension, deeper, deeper, and deeper relaxed. And as you do, allow that relaxation to continue down now over the back of your head, relaxing the back of your head, down, across the eyes, relaxing your eyes and eyelids completely, calm, calm, and completely relaxed, down, allowing the golden liquid light to move down into your temples, spiraling slowly into the temples, moving into the mind and brain. The golden liquid light slowly coating and covering both hemispheres of your brain, lighting up the mind and brain, communicating, connecting, activating, down, deeper, deeper, and deeper relaxed, down, deeper, deeper, and deeper relaxed. And as that relaxation continues down over the outer ears, the golden liquid light moving into the inner ears, relaxing, calming, down, down into your jaw, relaxing the muscles in your jaw, allowing the teeth to part ever so slightly, and relax, deeper, deeper, and deeper relaxed. As the relaxation continues down now and across your nose, relaxing your upper lip, your lower lip, relaxing the chin and your throat. The golden liquid light moving down now over the back of your head into the back of your neck, relaxing the muscles in the neck, calm, calm, and completely relaxed. Allowing that relaxation to continue down now, down into the shoulders, down, down, down into your upper arms, relaxing the upper arms completely, the biceps, the triceps, down, deeper, down into your elbows, down into your forearms, deeper, deeper, and deeper relaxed, down into your wrists and your hands, down, down from your hands, the very tips of the fingers, all the way out to the very tips of your fingers, and completely relaxed, down, deeper, down, slowly taking in a nice, slow, deep breath into the upper chest and lungs, holding it for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhaling, relaxing fully, exhaling completely. Good. And relaxed, breathing normally, easily, quietly, comfortably, and completely relaxed. And in this relaxed state of awareness, you can continue to focus more and more on your breath, down, deeper, deeper, and deeper relaxed. The golden liquid light moving down from the back of your neck and shoulders into the upper back, moving into the upper back and stretching out to the left, stretching out to the right, relaxing your upper back completely as the golden liquid light moves down now into your spine, lighting up your spine, one vertebrae at a time, moving down, balancing, aligning, strengthening, rejuvenating the spine and the nervous system, moving down into the upper back, deeper, deeper, and deeper relax, down, down, down into your mid-back, relaxing the mid-back completely, down, 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 all the way down to your lower back, relaxing the lower back down all the way into the tailbone, into the pelvis and the hips, and completely relaxed. And as you take another slow, deep breath in, this time into the belly, into the chest and abdomen, holding it for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhaling, relaxing your stomach completely. Calm, calm, and completely relaxed. Breathing easily, naturally, quietly, comfortably, and completely relaxed. And as this relaxation continues down now, down, down into your hips, down, down into your quads, relaxing the quads and the hamstrings completely, down, deeper, deeper relaxed, down, down, into your knees, down, down, into your shins, down, down, into your calves, your ankles, your feet, across the tops of your feet and spiraling around into the soles of your feet, relaxing the soles of your feet completely, down, 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 deeper, deeper, deeper relaxed. Like the most incredible foot massage you've ever received, sending wonderful waves of relaxation rippling from the tips of your toes all the way on up, all the way on up, all the way on up to the top of your head, and from the top of your head all the way back down again, all the way back down again, all the way back down again to the very tips of your toes and completely relaxed. And in this wonderful state of complete relaxation, you naturally and easily can begin to imagine exactly what life will be like for you when you've learned how to master your relationship with money. I'd like you to imagine perhaps 3 months from today, 6 months from today, a year from today, 5 years from today, 10 years from today. I don't know exactly for you, but I'd like you to imagine a time when you've truly healed, improved, and strengthened your relationship with money. You consistently save money, a percentage of all the income that comes in. You set it aside. You make it a habit. You make it a habit of setting aside a specific percentage of money that comes in each and every time, because you know the more you practice the habits you want, the easier and more natural they become. And you want to become more connected and aware, to have a better, healthier, positive relationship with money as it flows in and flows out of your life. And as a result, you've created consistent, recurring income streams that make it so much easier to set that money aside, because you already know how much is coming in well in advance. Now, I'm not sure exactly how much money you've decided that you want to make per month right now. But what I do know is, as you set your money aside and you learn to begin looking at your money on a regular basis, maybe even daily, to do a friendly check-in just to see how things are going, that you naturally and automatically become curious, interested in ways to cultivate, to grow, and take care of the money that does come in. You find yourself nurturing this habit within you to naturally and easily nurture the money, to take care of the money that comes in to your life. And as a result, you feel more calm, more relaxed, more centered, more at peace, and more inspired to work on projects that will bring in the amount of money that you want, because you know you've made the commitment to taking care of it, to growing it, to nurturing it, and to watch it thrive as it grows. You might find yourself listening to podcasts about money, or you might find yourself reading books about money, or perhaps taking webinars or courses as it becomes an area of curiosity, of study for you. And the more you study it, and the more comfortable you become with making it, the more comfortable you become with saving it, and the more it naturally and easily flows into your life and stays there. You find yourself naturally being attracted to learning from people who have positive things to teach you about money on your entrepreneurial journey. There's so much to learn and so many ways you could go, but you know that you are beginning to embrace your connection and your relationship with money. One way or the other, you find yourself becoming more centered, more clear, more relaxed, and more certain of yourself when it comes to financial decisions. You actively seek out advice from those around you, or find people that you might need to help advise you on how to improve your money habits. Perhaps you simply start looking for more lucrative business partners and opportunities to connect with that will help you to bring in more money or to create more consistent cash flow streams. Or maybe you simply begin the action of saving more consistently, more regularly. Perhaps first thing in the morning, you check your accounts to see your status and you focus on trying to increase what's in them with each and every passing day. I'm not sure exactly what the ideal growth plan will be for you, but your subconscious mind will know when it sees it. Whatever it is that may have been holding you back, you begin to realize that that very thing is the stepping stone to propel you forward on your path, on your journey toward greater and greater levels of success, understanding, and experience. And as you do, begin more and more to commit to yourself to improve your relationship with money. You will find countless ways and countless opportunities to grow and to expand beyond your previous limited reactions around money. You will find that you feel less emotional with your financial decisions and more empowered to do what you think you should do, regardless of how you happen to feel at the moment. You know that your relationship with money is 100% within your control and influence. And you're choosing now to improve, to enhance your saving habits, your choices around finding percentage deals that pay you on a recurring basis to create more financial stability, financial security, and for your own natural abilities to manage your money, to organize it, and to grow it becomes more and more important to you and on your mind each and every day as you naturally start taking the actions that you need, that you want to take in order to start growing your money each and every day. Learning about money and how it works. When you have it and when you don't. All of these lessons become clear to you now. They shift into place, giving you a new perspective, a new lesson, a whole new body of knowledge about exactly how you can think, behave, feel, and respond to financial situations in better, more generative ways moving forward. All of this because you chose to do so today for yourself, for all the people you care for and love. And in just a few short moments, I will count from 1 to 5. And when I do, you will return fully back into the room only as quickly and only as completely as you can fully integrate, activate, utilize, and realize each and every one of the powerful and helpful hypnotic suggestions you've experienced today during our time together. Beginning now. 1, taking a nice slow deep breath in, exhaling. 2, stretching out the hands and the feet, the arms and the legs. 3, rolling the shoulders back, just beginning to return back into the room. 4, becoming more and more aware of the sound of my voice, returning to your body, reactivating, reorienting to your body. 4, and whenever you're ready, 5, slowly opening the eyes, returning fully back into the room, wide awake, feeling fine and in perfect health, feeling better than you felt in a long, long time, and welcome back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What was that experience like for you?
It was awesome.
Awesome. How? What was there anything that was particularly relaxing or meaningful or gave you any aha moments, anything of note?
I think just I'm not feeling as much charge with money. Yeah, that's the big thing.
Cool. That's good. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, did you find that you were very relaxed? Did you feel that you heard every word? Did you feel like you were going in and out of conscious awareness? What was that like for you?
Yeah, I heard every word. I did find a few times my mind started wandering and thinking about things,
Yeah.
just like meditation,
Totally.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, do you have any questions about the process?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, first of all, I just want to say you did great.
Thank you.
And I would encourage you to come back to this video. It's obviously on your socials. It's on my YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well. And re-listen to it.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend practice.
Yeah.
Most people like to listen to hypnosis first thing in the morning, kind of like as a meditation.
Mhm.
And then by all means, please let me know what changes have occurred. Like, let me know what you notice in yourself in terms of actions that change or your feelings and reactions to things that might change. Just whatever you're aware of in yourself that shifts over the next few days. Please give me a heads up. And then let's see. If you guys want to check out what Juliet is working on, do you want to? I'm just gonna pop that down here. It's just your name, right? JULIETEASTON. If you guys want to check out what Juliet is working on, you can go to JulietEaston.com. That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And I guess that's about it for today, Juliet, unless you have anything else to say.
Just, I could take a minute to mention some cool things I'm working on. If you
Please, yeah, go for it.
So I've got, I don't know if my VA yet, if you've listened to the recording, probably this is done by now, but if you're live, this might not be done. So on JulietEaston.com, there should be an opt-in where you can get notified for different things I'm doing. The first link, Dragonfly Oasis, might still be the old link, but he's supposed to be updating that with an opt-in there. If you're interested in being a beta tester, I've got a weight loss accelerator program. I lost 20 pounds in 2.5 months.
Oh, cool.
Figuring out how to hack GLP-1 naturally. I've got a boundaries accelerator program I'll be doing soon, a life mission accelerator program I'll be doing soon. I'll need beta testers for all those. And then a group, all these are inside Dragonfly Oasis. So there's also a detox program I'm starting.
Wow.
Detox and all that inside a biohacking experiments group I have in there. So all that's part of that. And then those are the main things I'm working on right now. And I'm working on this copywriting funnel too for Warrior Plus. So
sounds like you're keeping busy.
Yeah. Yeah. So the best thing to do is when the opt-in is there, hopefully it will be soon, I'll just update new projects I'm working on my email list. So feel free to join.
Cool. Congratulations on your weight loss. I'm actually doing a hypnosis for weight loss webinar tonight with Jonathan Mizell. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Do you know Jonathan?
Yeah. When I first got into, I went to this really cool seminar in Atlanta in 2001 that this man named John Harisharan had.
Yeah, I remember him. I interviewed him for List Crusade and
yeah,
seminars with him. He did a lot of personal development stuff.
Yeah. And so the seminar, there were a lot of marketing OG people that were speaking, the marketing, internet marketing circuit that were there. It was, I would say, somewhere between 50 and 70 people. It was a small group. Nobody was pitching. And what everybody was talking about is how they incorporated spirituality into their business.
Cool.
So I got connected with a lot of OG marketing people at that event. And I joined Jonathan's Cyberwave Coaching Club.
Nice.
I was in that from like 2001 to 2003.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, there was Yannick Silver was in there, and Alex Mandozian.
Yep.
And I think Marlon showed up.
Probably sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I know Jonathan from.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for getting involved, and we would love to have you back at some point in the future. This was really fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you.
All right, rock and roll. Well, everybody, if you haven't already, go join the community at getshitdone.com. If you like today's session, you're going to get several hypnosis sessions for free when you join, including the Get Shit Done session and the Hypnosis for Luck session. So definitely recommend you go check out getshitdone.com if you like today's session we did with Juliet. And other than that, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for the Get Shit Done show. I'm Tellman. Thank you so much, Juliet. Again, thank you for being here. This was really, really great. And thank you to everybody for tuning in and watching. It's good seeing you all.
Having me as a guest. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.